Rachel Zegler is the prime example of how you should never think that you're bigger than the project.
A lot of what you see with Zegler is really just a pretty common Gen Z mentality.
The only excuse I can make for her is that she's young, she's immature, she doesn't know any better.
You took on the role, and that job comes with certain basic responsibilities. And one of the most basic is the responsibility to control yourself and comport yourself a certain way publicly so that you don't harm the project, thereby harm all the hundreds of other people who are working.
She believes the worst is past because the video has already been released and the lawsuits are in the works, and her legal team is putting in a lot of overtime to remove all evidence of the incident from the internet.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
However, just days after the now famous audio clip of Rachel Zegler's Backstage Evita outburst begins making the rounds in fan forums and private theater groups, it reaches a larger stage with the Joe Rogan Experience, and the instant Joe presses play, everything changes. This isn't a casual remark or a headline he crafts. Rather, it's a full-blown on-air reaction that is unscripted, raw, and instantly viral.
And you don't really hate? No, I don't hate it.
The leaked tape, which was purportedly recorded during a heated rehearsal break, is already explosive on its own. It shows Rachel Zegler losing it backstage, raising her voice, and making statements against the directors and performers that cause complete internet outbursts. The quality is inconsistent. Although the film is brief, the tone is one of blatant annoyance, stress, and possibly even wrath, and Joe Rogan is suddenly everywhere.
Well, what's it like to be in a movie with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu?
It's fucking great. Okay? It's fucking great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath? No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, how do I feel? I feel amazing. We start kind of soon, and I'm just like...
Cut into pieces all around. When TikTok Roger plays the tape in the middle of the podcast, his response is instantaneous. He leans in, stops, and then, as usual, lets go, pointing out the drama, the behavior, and the industry insanity that underlies it all. Within hours, the internet erupts. Editing reaction threads on a split screen. Compilations of memes when Joe Rogan weighs in, people pay attention, and this time his words hit harder than any lawsuit. As a result, YouTube Shorts titled Joe Rogan Destroys Zegler receive hundreds of thousands of views overnight. Influencer commentary takes over, and what was once a theater-related controversy turns into a front-page cultural flame war.
I've never heard of her before. I don't know if this is her first project or if she's done movies like this before or anything that has anything to do with acting. Now she's mad because they done fired her from upcoming projects, but you're not a team player. Why would somebody want to hire you when you don't know how to play your part? Like, you didn't know how to play your part in the movie and in the real world. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson, Rachel Zegler, and to anybody else who think that they are bigger than the project.
Thus, the questions have changed. Let's rewind the chaos from the moment the audio leaks to the precise moment Rogan hits play, because this isn't just a podcast segment. This is the viral explosion that elevates the scandal to a whole new level. What exactly is in that audio that sets Rogan off? Why does this take place more forcefully than anything that has come before? How does one 34-second recording end up turning the entire Rachel Zegler narrative on its head?
The negative effects of this.
This is an explosive area of conversation.
Whoa. I didn't expect that. He's looking at me silently. I will respectfully move on.
Thank you.
The audio is only 34 seconds long, but it doesn't have to be that long. It begins with what sounds like a chaotic moment, with shouting in the background and scattered footfall that may be the sound of a stage floor, before a clear, emotive voice breaks through the background chaos. It's Zegler, Rachel.
It's the most emotional experience that a person can go through to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people. You know, now I'm a part of that legacy to some degree. It's not something I take lightly. And it's just the most emotional experiences.
Her voice is tight. She seems angry and cut with impatience, but she is not weeping or shouting. You hear her say something like, "I'm not doing this again." There is a pause after what insiders say is a clear reference to the director, and then she raises her voice as soon as everyone has finished speaking.
And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys. And I'm so unbelievably thankful for that.
The intensity and emotional surge, rather than merely the volume, are what indicate that this is more than a poor rehearsal or mispronounced lyrics. This is personal, and it is said that the production team, possibly even the director, is the target of her rage. She apparently lashes out about being disrespected and blamed, with one statement in particular becoming the main topic of discussion online. "This isn't their show, it's mine." The internet is debating whether it's taken out of context, hubris, or stress. But regardless of your position, the response is immediate. TikTok creators dissect the video line by line in Twitter threads, with some arguing that it demonstrates how the strain is getting to her and others saying it reveals that she is insane or simply exhausted.
The big reason why so many people are turned off by Rachel Zegler's attitude and behavior. I'm not saying that she's a mean girl in real life, but that attitude usually is something that people associate with mean girls in real life. At the same time, I also think that it's just because she's a theater kid, so the way she acts makes sense and she just needs PR training. Social media personalities have thrived on it before, but now girls are just done with it. And that could be because of the mistreatment that a lot of women have gotten in their lives from other girls. And so now growing up after going through these mistreatments from other women in our lives, we're like, no, we're done with this. It's pretty interesting because I definitely think that there's a shift towards more compassion and understanding. Again, not saying that Rachel Zegler at all was like a mean girl or anything like that.
This audio leak differs from the others in that it isn't visual. There isn't any grainy footage to ignore, no edited thumbnail, no director's note with allegedly biased wording, just her voice captured in an instant. As a result, Joe Rogan's reaction is more powerful because when he hears it without any visuals to skew his perception, he calls it what he believes it to be, a full-on meltdown. The power of this leak lies in what is heard, not in what is seen.
Or what?
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of back.
And the controversy is changing now that people are hearing it for themselves. The story is about control exposure and the cost of being caught without a script, not just a backstage moment. But what does Rogan say exactly, and why is his opinion driving the internet crazy? Let's get started, because his words are powerful.
People are mad at the big head girl. So now if you notice the spin on it, they're putting it all on her. I mean, I'm sure she sucks, but she is very young.
It's kind of sucks that a kid gets put into the position like that.
You're young, and I know you have opinions about things, but should be just about the movie.
Well,
it's just
to defend Big Head Girl, the message of the movie is to be that. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time. That's the theme. Now,
it's not the same story?
No.
The audio in the studio ends, and Joe Rogan just sits there for a moment, raising his eyebrows in silence. Even on a podcast, the room seems to freeze, and then he laughs, but it's not a belly laugh. Rather, it's the tight, sharp, slightly disbelieving laugh that Rogan makes just before dropping a bomb, the kind that asks, "Are you hearing what I'm hearing?" That's the clip, that's what everyone's been trying to shut down, he says, leaning into the microphone. He's not going to hold back his visitor, as you can tell right away since a fellow comedian shakes his head and murmurs, "Bro, that's wild." After that, the discussion explodes. Joe dives right in, calling the outburst unhinged and describing what happens when people aren't used to hearing no. He claims that Rachel's team's attempt to remove the clip only makes it worse because now everyone wants to know what's in it. He likens it to Hollywood's fixation with image control, where actors are polished in interviews but break down when they're not in control of the set. Then, getting even sharper, he says, "This isn't just a bad day, it's a pattern." He brings up the debate surrounding her Snow White. He talks on how some celebrities start believing their own hype and forget that they're a part of a team, not the center of the universe. "You're not Eva Perón." The red carpet attitude and the interviews that offended people. He jokes that when you're playing Eva Perón, the internet erupts, and the part gets snipped in a matter of minutes. There are many videos on Talk with the title some of Rogan's reactions to Zla Meltdown are slowed down, while others follow the traditional reaction structure. The phrase, "You're not Eva Peron," which appears on Twitter after the video of Joe's face contorting in shock, begins to circulate. YouTube creators stitched the podcast audio with the leaked Backstage rant, framing it as Rogan versus Rachel. People are reacting not only to Zegler, but also to Rogan's words, which perfectly capture what many irate fans have been feeling. Rachel's rise came too quickly, her attitude changed too soon, and now the cracks are showing. Some accuse Joe of piling on, claiming he's turning one emotional moment into a character assassination, but in any case, he's now a part of the story. This isn't the first time Joe has poured gasoline on a celebrity fire. He's waiting on Will Smith, Markle, Megan Ezra Miller, but there's something different about this hit. Perhaps it's because the original audio leak is so honest, personal, and obviously not meant for the public. The fact that Rogan plays it, comments on it, and then refuses to retract his remarks gives the entire scandal new life, and fans adore it because, in a world where most celebrities avoid controversy like it's radioactive, Rogan walks right into it, lights a match, doesn't soften it, doesn't hide behind PR language, and says what people are already thinking, and for better or worse. That's why this moment is exploding. Now, the question is what happens when Rachel hears this, because if her team was upset about the clip, they're not prepared for what happens next. Once Joe Rogan's reaction goes viral online, it's like someone pulls the pin on a grenade and throws it right into the middle of the Evita controversy, and within hours, TikTok is inundated with clips. Some users split-screen modify their posts, with one side displaying Rachel's purported outburst waveform and the other side displaying Joe's shocked expression. Others dubbed dramatic music under Rogan's "You're not Eva Peron" statement, and some even included animated subtitles to increase the content's likelihood of going viral. Influencers who had not previously discussed the Rachel Zegler situation suddenly begin to weigh in, not because of the audio itself, but because of Rogan's reaction to it. The hashtag Zegler Meltdown begins trending once more, but this time it's combined with hashtag Rogan Roast on Twitter. A popular tweet states, "I wasn't even following the Zegler drama, but if Rogan's talking about it, it's officially huge." They are correct, as Rogan's platform isn't specialized, Broadway, or even conventional Hollywood. It's nasty and worldwide. It's emotional, and his response indicates that the story has formally slipped out of containment. Threads on Reddit fan communities to discuss whether Rogan's remarks are appropriate or needlessly harsh. No matter which side you support, everyone agrees that this reaction is fuel. Even those who previously defended Rachel begin to doubt the storyline. They play back the audio and analyze her tone. Some attempt to defend it, saying it's a high-pressure role that everyone cracks. Others reply, "Yeah, but not like that." Some claim he's just saying what everyone is thinking. Others accuse him of kicking someone while they're down. Next-generation commentary channels are jumped on by YouTube creators. Post complete breakdowns. A single clip labeled, "Joe Rogan just ended Rachel Zegler's career in 30 seconds" racks up 200K views in 24 hours. Someone else states, "This was the final nail in the coffin. It's exaggerated, sure, but it works. Even parody accounts get in on it." Rachel is seen in memes wearing an Evita outfit that has been photoshopped into Rogan's studio.